Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Eckleo. Today I'm going to be showing you some really cool off-camera things like this in Wii Sports. So let's get into this. Alright everybody, so out of all these games, there can be a lot of stuff that you can do with off-camera stuff. You just saw in the main menu how I could move around the camera, how this is actually like an object. That is pretty cool. But first, let's hop into an actual game, which is tennis. Let's get into it. So first off, in the main menu, you can actually move this around and your character will move with the background and camera, which is pretty cool. So yeah, now what about the tennis menu? Well, you can actually zoom out a lot and it actually shows the full map, believe it or not. And then the characters are just like 3D models, and this is actually the whole tennis court and everything. And you can see it right here. Now for the actual map in tennis, it's pretty big. There's this giant circular building around here. This is the actual tennis playing area, which is pretty cool. The camera moves with it. So yeah, this is the whole thing. And then there's this kind of like hexagonic building, and then this L-shaped building, almost like Luigi. This background isn't a skybox, it's just an outer area which you can go out of, and that's the whole map. So yeah, that's pretty neat. There's some trees too. So here's a whole zoom out of the map. Now, if we move on to baseball, we can also turn the camera, and interestingly enough, the versus sign stays where it is, but the two cameras right here move around freely, which is pretty cool. Now, you can actually move around right here, and it looks pretty funny. Here's the whole cutscene right here. And yeah, so we can move the camera. We can see everything around here. You can see all the players and everything. So this is pretty cool because you can see the whole map and all the technicalities. Just take it in for a second. And what's beyond this area? It kind of looks the same. There's the same circular building as well as the hexagonal building. So it's almost the same, except there's no L-shaped building like there is in tennis. And for some weird reason, the outer edge of this is in light green, which doesn't make much sense, but I guess it's just how it's made. Now we're going on to bowling. Yep, I can also move the camera here too. This is basically what the whole bowling alley looks like, and it's pretty plain, not gonna lie. You've got the whole ceiling, you've got this upper area, almost like a receptionist counter right here, but there's nobody there. And then there are all the Mii's back here watching you like you can normally see and playing the game and everything. But the interesting thing is, when they go up to bowl, their faces disappear for a second. Like that, like what's going on with them? It's crazy. This is what it looks like before you start when it's on this screen. But once you actually press A, this is where everything interesting happens. This whole back area is completely gone, and the Mii's only show once the player is actually able to see them from this camera right here. And you can even go into the pins, and you could actually play like this. I'm gonna try to get a quick strike right here. I'm probably not gonna make it. Oh, I actually got it. So yeah, that is basically what bowling's like. It's pretty short. Under the map, it actually is interesting. So I'm gonna press A real quick, and I'm going to go under the map. You can actually see everything. You can see the bowling ball go. I didn't get a strike that time, but that's fine. But you can see everything from under the map, which I think is really cool. So that's pretty much all for bowling, so let's go on to the next sport. Next up is golf. So on this home screen, you can't actually move anything. It's just still images, which is pretty interesting. So we're going to go into beginner. So let's go. So this is the first starting stance of everything. So if you hit it, then you can actually just move around everywhere. It's pretty neat. You can actually just move out of the whole thing. This is the whole map. You can see there are some 2D trees over off into the distance right here. And it's just hills after that. And then the map ends. This is a pretty small map for beginner. And then here's the flag. So that's basically just the whole map. This first one is pretty plain. So yeah, let's get into the next one, everybody. Now for this second map, I'm going to go all the way up once again, and this is the whole map. This map is a little bit bigger. It has some more detail with all the trees. There's a big tree line over here. Tons of trees in this map. And then also the water is pretty cool because it's actually got a reflection from everything around it. You can see everything in a reflection, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna move around a little bit. This is once you get out of it, out of the map basically. Looks like this. I think it looks pretty cool because of all the clouds. They kind of just reflect off of everything. So yeah, that's basically this map. I kind of like this one more than the first one. It has more detail and it's better. And now for hole 3, this map is also pretty big, but there's not too much detail. There's a big tree line over here. This is part of the outer edge of the map. So this is what the whole map looks like for here. It's actually pretty big, but there's not much detail to it. It's mostly just grass. And then here's the hole. Basically the whole thing. That's what the hole looks like. And yeah, that's basically it for golf. I forgot to mention, on the final screen of golf, you can actually also move the camera around. You can move it around everywhere. And it actually shows you, for some reason, this is the last position I was in before I finished the game, which I think is kind of cool. They knew that nobody would see this without moving the camera around, so they didn't bother to move your character, like delete your character out of the way. Because that's what the camera originally looks like. You can barely see your character right there. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. Last but not least is boxing. So, interesting enough, like baseball, you can also move the camera around right here. And you can move it around everywhere to kind of zoom out and everything and see the whole audience and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. But what about the actual fight? We can go up and see everything. I'm getting hit like crazy, but here's the audience. There's actually not much to the whole boxing area. And this is everything right here. This is where the actual boxing match takes place. I don't know why Matt's not hitting me, but I guess it might be a glitch or something. That's kind of funny though. But this is the whole lighting area up here, and it's actually very bright. So that's kind of all there is. There are little like circles, colored circles for the audience, kind of like they have in baseball to symbolize the audience. And then out of it is just dark. It's just all dark. Unlike every other sport, it doesn't need to be lit because it's kind of like just a dark area. So yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you want to see a part 2 where I showcase the training area and the Wii Fitness area. Thank you all so much. Please be sure to smack that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for more videos. Peace out, everybody.